to mock whatever conversation is going to be had, and thus the training in itself is not going to be whole and complete and effective.
Mm-hmm.
So not only did I not get the distinction, but the other participants.
Yeah, I got that. Okay. Tim, anything you'd like to add there? You're on mute. Tim.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, now I'm not muted. Thank you. I've been living a whole weekend on Zoom muted, so this is a whole new world for me. Nothing to add, Joshua. Thank you for bringing it to our attention and really looking. And no, I don't have anything else to add. Thank you. Yeah, good.
Okay, and so we're supposed to start off this call tonight to look at integrity as workability. So you can share when everybody gets on the call.
It's always perfect.
Perfect, yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, Monica.
Hey, Monica. You're on mute.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you? I'm really good.
Yeah, right?
Transformations here, yeah. I was just talking with Nahala. She was giving me the lowdown on assisting on the Landmark Forum.
Yeah.
Is she coming tonight on this?
She is. She said
Good.
she would. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love for her to share.
I think we can both share. We might have a little more free flow of a conversation tonight.
Yeah. Yeah,
Also.
it's a conversation.
Yeah. How about Tom? Is Tom coming? Does anybody know?
I don't know. I'm going to look at the calendar and see. Noah just texted me about 30 minutes ago that he is not going to join us tonight.
Okay. We're having horrible storms here, and I heard you guys were having horrible storms down in South Florida too. Yeah.
You know, I just posted on Facebook 2 videos of my front yard and my front lake and my back lake.
Oh.
Seriously, the water is up halfway on the tires of our cars.
Oh,
you know,
my
another
gosh.
3 inches, it'll be in the cars. My backyard is a total swamp. I've only lived here since October, so this is new to me in this house.
Rainy season, yeah.
But
yeah.
our neighbors said they have never seen this ever like this. It's just so
Oh.
much water all at once.
Oh,
How many
Yeah.
inches have you guys had?
it's
No
not raining
idea.
here yet. I'm not getting any rain yet.
Good
How
for
many?
you. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sure.
A lot though. Huh?
It's basically not stopped raining for 3 days,
Oh.
and sometimes major downpours.
Yeah, we haven't had nearly as much rain, although right now we are having a downpour. So it's
Yeah.
pretty rainy. Hey, Nahala. Hi, Tom. You're on
Tom.
mute. You're on mute.
Hey everybody, my AC went out and it's the compressor, so
Mm.
my window's opening and it's thundering.
Okay.
Are you okay? Are you safe?
Yeah, just hot.
Just hot?
Yeah.
Yeah. It must have been the day my rental property, the air conditioning went out on it.
Hmm.
So, yeah. Wasn't good news. $600 to fix it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's cheaper than a compressor. You probably had the capacitor went out.
I don't know what it was. Something burnt up on the outside. It was on the outside. So, I don't really know what it was. But there's not much you can do except, well, say, fix it, please,
Yeah.
as quickly as possible.
Well, it looks like from looking at the calendar
Yeah.
invitation that who is here is who we plan on.
Yeah. Okay.
Nobody else checked yes that they were coming other than who's here. So.
All right. So it's 8:01. So I acknowledge that we're a minute late in getting started. Has the recording already started, Tim?
Yes. Yeah. If you look in your Zoom window in the upper left corner, does it say recording on everybody's?
It does. It does.
Yeah, that's just how you
Got a
know.
red dot next to it. I don't know.
Yes, that means it's recording, and that red dot is pulsing.
Oh, okay.
And
All
last
right.
night on our Gitanjali call, it was not. And I texted Amy twice, and finally at 7:30, she goes, "Oops," and then she started recording.
Oh, geez.
So Monday night's call, you will get half of the recording.
Get
So
off the call.
yeah,
And what about Tuesdays? Last Tuesdays, I ended up listening to the European call because
that's what I
she
did.
didn't post the the United States call.
Yeah, I
So
listened to the Europe too.
it was awesome. It was
Yeah,
really awesome.
it
Yeah,
really was.
I enjoyed it immensely. From people from all over the world were on the call. All right, so enough about that. So welcome to the call. Who we have on the call are Tim Wagoner, Joshua Moreno, Tom Nestor, Nahala Hatum, and Monica Dubé, and myself, Sherry Lucky. And this is the level 1 mentor training and level 2 training and development meeting. And Tim is the local area coordinator, and I'm the head mentor for the state of Florida. So welcome to the call. Our plan was to pick up the call on integrity, but I'd first like to start with somebody generating the bold statement. So who would like to do that?
Is there someone that hasn't been signed off on this competency yet that would like to do that?
I don't know. How about Tom?
Sure.
Let me look at the competency sheet.
We, the course supervisors, are given by a possibility bigger than ourselves, holding as sacred the integrity of the clearing in which transformation occurs, causing our brand master providers of all that is needed.
Well, that's a version of it.
I
Just
think I
in the
messed up on the third line.
the third line, causing
The
the.
fulfillment of our brand.
There you go. That's it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then the last,
Like, oh, master providers of whatever's needed. He didn't say
yeah,
that.
no, it was also different. You want to try it again, Tom?
Wait, so it is master providers of whatever is
Whatever
needed?
is, yes,
Whatever's needed. Yeah.
Okay, I said something different.
yes.
Okay, we, the course supervisors, are given by a possibility bigger than ourselves, causing the integrity, causing the, oh shit,
That's all right.
causing, okay, we, the course supervisors, are given by a possibility bigger than ourselves, causing the integrity of the clearing in which transformation occurs.
What's sacred?
Oh, okay. We, the course supervisors, are given by a possibility bigger than ourselves, holding as sacred the integrity of the clearing in which transformation occurs, causing the fulfillment of our brand, master providers of whatever is needed.
There you go.
Hey, you got it.
There you go.
Hey, good job. Want to do it one more time? Or should we quit while we're ahead?
We, the course supervisors, are given by a possibility bigger than ourselves, holding as sacred the integrity of the clearing in which transformation occurs, causing the fulfillment of our brand, master providers of whatever is needed.
That's it.
Awesome.
That's it.
Okay. Is that in for everybody?
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything anybody needs to say to be here and to be present on the call? No. Okay, well, out of the small group of people, we actually had 2 people who assisted over the weekend in the delivery of the course of the landmark form for reviewers, free to be and free to act. That was delivered by Mark Spiritos. So it would be really awesome, I think, if you shared with us what your experience was like and how it was.
Nahala, would you like to go and do
Sure.
that?
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was really awesome and cool and unique experience. I had not done anything like that before, so it was my first time being on the Landmark Forum online or any program online, let alone the Landmark Forum. And we had 5 forums going on at the same time this past weekend. There were 5 of them in different time zones. So, and some overlapped in time zones. So that was amazing that we had that. And we were able, all the people from all over the world, we were able to make that happen. You know, the support team, the technical team, the document managers, the online program managers, everybody was able to get together and create something where we could deliver the forum, and that was just extraordinary. And the people that were on the course, they're sharing. I mean, I was telling Sherry, everybody was coming back on time, which doesn't usually happen, you know.
Right?
Everybody, yeah. I mean, and we only had one well-being out and one person that left like sometime after the first session on Saturday. And I think that was it. Out of like 217 people. I unplugged it during the week.
Okay. Soon they'll be done. She has a phone call, and I guess she can't mute it. It's on her landline, so.
Yeah, it just rings.
Yeah, I unplugged the phone for 3 days. It was really nice, actually, but we had to plug it back in. Yeah, and so where was I? It was just amazing. Everybody, you know, we had some, so there was some chaos on Friday, a little bit of chaos with customer service, technical support, you know. But it's all a learning experience, and we learned from it, and then it got better. Saturday and Sunday went much smoother. You know, I mean, it just felt like there were no breakdowns as far as I was concerned. You know, I didn't feel like there were any breakdowns or anything that was not handled or, you know, was taken care of. And it was really great to be with, you know, hearing Mark when I was able to listen to him and speak. That was my first time being with him on the course like that. And, you know, as I was saying to Sherry, it was a different experience being with a Landmark Forum, who's, you know, a senior Landmark Forum leader, a really seasoned, experienced Landmark Forum. It was just a different experience from what I've experienced with previous leaders. I mean, they're all great, they're all good. It was just a different experience. And I was really glad to be part of that and got to meet, you know, amazing individuals from all over the world, from India, who are also assisting. Yeah, so I got to expand my circle of Landmark Forum, I don't know what you call it.
People who assist.
People who assist, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was really awesome, and I would do it again. Yeah.
Great. And are you scheduled? Do you get on a regular rotation now, or is it just?
Yeah, no, the upcoming Landmark Forums, they have been scheduled, and they've already put in the teams for them. We did that a few weeks ago, actually. Yeah. So when there are a couple others coming up in, I think, June and July, there's going to be more Landmark Forum coming up, but we don't know for sure. We don't know exactly when, or, you know, but there's going to be more coming up. I think that was spoken about on our staff call, one of the recordings on the staff call. He mentioned that there's going to be more programs and more, you know, forums coming up. So, yeah.
When did you discover anything newly for yourself?
Let's see. For myself, what did I discover newly? Well, I was actually initially thinking, oh my God, what am I doing? You know, I'm supposed to be with technical support. That's what, they put me with. And I'm thinking, okay, technical support and NEHLA do not go together. You know, it's just those two terms, you know, just do not match. And actually, I learned quite a bit about it, about, you know, technical issues. And I found that, you know, I can do it. It's really not as big as I had it in my mind, and that I can do it. And I'm able to be with what's there, with what is. Um, yeah, and you know, I found myself I did catch myself having some rackets about certain things that happened that, you know, could have been different, but then I caught myself. Typically, I would say something, I'd be like, you know, complain about it or, you know, say something. But I was like, okay, wait a minute. It's just a racket. You know, I don't need to be going that direction. And it went away. So I was, you know, looking at my thoughts, my rackets, what was coming up, if anything was coming up. And in the moment, I was able to, you know, let go of that. I didn't, you know, stay with that. And that's different for me, you know.
That's some power.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for the most part, you know, I've been able to do that. Sometimes I get stuck on something and not be able to get out of it. But I really didn't find myself stuck on anything that I couldn't, you know, just put to the side or get out of it. So that was different, and it was a very smooth. So I experienced it as a smooth memo form.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing you say that like you got to experience yourself newly as someone who could provide technical support
Yeah.
to a new program, and you never would have thought that that could be a self-expression.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I also learned newly, like the way we're keeping track of the participants, like statistic-wise.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it is a little bit different. It is different from, you know, we do it in person, but there's still that, you know, that flavor of it, of statistics. You know, so I learned how to do that from this angle. You know.
Well, that's fascinating, yeah, to see a new way to actually record the delivery of the course as to whether or not it's effective or what measurements will be used, and that's all probably being newly established for this new program. So really cool to be part of that. Yeah. Wow, awesome. And you got to notice that you were operating in a racket and put it aside. That's awesome.
Right.
So what a great opportunity.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you for doing that. And thank you for holding your hand up, even though you had no idea how it was going to look and how it was going to be, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad I did.
Courage. Yeah. And Tim, how about you? I know you shared last night, but.
Yeah, on the call. And I don't know if that part got recorded. I don't know when the recording started. So were any of you guys on the call last night?
I was.
Monica was.
Monica was.
Yeah. And I know Nahala was. Yeah. Well, you know, to add to what Nahala said, which she covered a lot of it, is that I'll just create the context of now what's possible, what came out of the debrief with Gitanjali. And so Udi Ipalawati was also working with me and Greg, who are the document managers, the ones putting up the slides, and playing the music in the beginning. So what got created is that online programming is not going away. This is the new enterprise. And there will be live in-person programming sometime, but there's no speaking of it like next month or even August, or like there's just nothing about that. They're watching, and as far as in this country, most likely not for at least another couple months. And that this way of delivering the distinctions works. And they've made a commitment to Harry Rosenberg that the online forum for people who have not done the forum will happen. So that just opens up the entire planet to getting access to the forum. Like there's nowhere we can't be. And to be able to deliver it, we delivered it to over 860 people over the course of the
This
weekend.
Yeah.
Five different. It's called the Forum for Graduates, Free to Be and Free to Act. And to be, we're on the cutting edge of this, and to be part of it, there were 5 course supervisors from Florida on this course that was led by Mark and Jackie Chang, if you'd know her. She's a former Introduction Leaders Program coach and program leader, and she was one of the very first people that assist to be involved 8 years ago to looking into how to do this. So this has been in the works, and I was on there was an online seminar about 2.5 years ago, and I was in that seminar. And so it's very inspiring. It was also very, I got so much training about managing my mind, because I'm going to send you a picture of what this layout is in front of me. I have a curtain here behind me because behind me is my partner's half of this office. But I have a monitor here, my laptop here, my cell phone here with my WhatsApp, and my iPad over here. And it's just like it's all screens. And I am just glued to it, to every word, to every moment, to everything on the slide that has to come up at that moment, listening to what other people are sharing, being with the leader. And I also have the actual script of what the leader is delivering. It was, I got chills listening to and being part of that. And it's the new course supervisor, the document manager and the online program manager, which is the person who is on camera with Mark, not at the same time, of course, but on camera, calling people to share. So we'll unmute people and say, go ahead, Joshua, you're unmuted, go ahead. And is really working with the leader. So that person, and they're also tracking who has shared, who's not shared. All of that's going on the side by the online program manager. So course supervisor is now just redefined. It's the same distinction, but where we are course supervisor now is all over the world. And like Nahala said, people from India, New Zealand, Australia, they were all working together in the support room to support people who are having issues, technical issues, during the entire time of those 5 forums happening.
Oh, so they would go across the board.
Yeah, there was a support Zoom meeting set up for people who need support, and I think it was Nahala, you and Amy who would send them to those rooms for support. I don't know exactly how all that. I haven't yet done that part.
Yeah. So if they came in, the way it worked is that they would first come to us, Amy, myself, and another course supervisor, Pat. She's out of the New York Center. She was with us. So it was the 3 of us as a team. And so when they first come in, we're like the welcome table, if you will.
Day 1 admin.
Yeah, day 1 admin. Yeah. So they come into this room where we're at.
The waiting room. The waiting room.
Waiting room. And their name has to match what's on the registration name, how they registered. And we have the list of the Google Doc with the names of the participants that registered, and their name likes, and their official name, just like we would get a class list with the name likes and official name, same thing. And so we would match the name that they're signing in on Zoom with the name that they have in the Google Doc that they registered with. And if it matches, then we admit them into the main room. If it didn't match, then we would send them to the support Zoom line, which is a completely separate Zoom line that they went to. So it's separate from the main. And
you could transfer them to that line, or did they have to hang up and call?
we would send them back to the main room, which was the room that they came into initially when they went into Zoom. And then we would send them a script that tells them that they need to call or go to this particular Zoom link for support, or change their name to check their name, make sure it's the same, it's written out the same as when they had registered. So they're told, you know, check your name, make sure it's the same exact name as what you had registered. And if you're still having technical difficulties, you can't get in, to go to this Zoom link for support.
And then there
Got
was,
it.
I'll take over. And then there was another whole Zoom support meeting set up that had people from all over the world managing whichever landmark forum was happening that needed support. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
what I really got trained in is one, complete work and integrity, like going through the manual, looking at the slide deck, knowing exactly when to click everything and doing it completely. And even in complete communication, because there's a WhatsApp channel that the document managers and Udi, the other forum leader, and Mark Spiritos is what they called their right-hand person, their support person. Brittany was like right off camera managing who knows what, but we were all in WhatsApp channels. And there's another WhatsApp channel for the customer support people. And you're watching all of that, and you're watching how you communicate, what you communicate, should you communicate, is this going to be a disturbance versus support and contribution. It was just really, really rigorous. And I don't know, it was just very powerful, very, 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 very good for training your mind around things, because there was no time to go off on, as Nahala said, you get into a racket and you're somewhere else, and then all of a sudden they're in another
You're
country,
lost,
and
yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, what's he saying now, and where am I, and what slide did I miss something? And granted, I was the backup. I was being trained. I was not the one delivering it live 99% of the time. I did have 2-3 times I did share things live, but that was my training. And I'm like, okay, really in real life, I cannot get distracted. I have to really, my mouse in my hand, my eyes forward, and headphones in, and nothing else going on. So it was just amazing. Amazing. I can't, if any of you guys have any desire to do this, get yourself in the training and become either a document manager, participant manager, an online program manager, or technical support, because it's really, really inspiring. It's also a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun people in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one other thing I experienced is that when we do our in-person courses, we do them locally here in Orlando, Tampa. So it does, we know that we're impacting people and there's a ripple effect and so forth. But with this, I really got present to how vast and wide it is, with, being connected to individuals from all over the world who are assisting, right? Just people are assisting, and not including all the participants from all over the world,
Yeah.
I felt so connected in a way that was much bigger than I had experienced before.
Yeah.
Really connected to other participants and other individuals who are assisting. That goes beyond
That's
Florida.
fascinating. Yeah.
That goes beyond our centers. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Really, you felt and you got present to the community that was.
Yeah.
And that was, of course.
Sherry, your microphone is cutting out a lot. I can barely hear you.
Oh, is it? Okay. All right. I'll
That's
try
a
and.
whole lot better, whatever you just did.
That better? I've moved it a little closer.
Yeah.
That works better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
let's get into something.
all right. So we were going to see if there was anything that we wanted to follow up with on the conversation about integrity that we'd had, into workability as integrity. So did anybody discover anything newly, think about anything newly, have any lapses of integrity that they'd like to restore, or anything like that?
Yes, I do. So integrity, I've realized that I don't fully prepare, or I don't prepare for things with adequate amount of time, and I see how that shows up in other areas of my life. And specifically today for this call, I did not prepare with the distinction of genesis of identity, which my understanding is I was going to be mocking that with Sherry on this call for the training. And I see the impact on that is that I am not prepared, therefore the body is not prepared to have this conversation, to have this training be effective.
As it was originally designed, right? Yeah, yeah. And what did you see, if you look back, what got in the way of you not honoring your word?
So I, number one, didn't have it in existence. I
Mhm.
didn't have an existence as to when I will be reviewing this, nor was I even present to how to source this document.
Mhm.
So it just wasn't in my existence at all. It was kind of there in the back of my head, but it was nowhere notated as to when and how I'll do it.
Got it. Okay. Now I'm just going to ask some questions to get to the source of the breakdown. When you made the promise, did anyone support you in reminding you? Did you request support for the document? Or was it, I wasn't there, so was it like, oh yeah, I'll take that on, and then that was it? If you go
So
back,
it was the initial request. It was, hey, this is what's the conversation that's going to be done with Sherry. Are you up for it? I said yes,
Mhm.
and that was it.
Yeah,
Over the weekend on Sunday, I asked the person that made the request, remind me again, what was the conversation that I needed to prep for? And they confirmed what it was, but I didn't ask as to how to find it.
got it.
So as I was looking for it before this call, I couldn't find it, obviously, and even then it was still short time,
Yeah.
and that was the breakdown.
Okay. Sherry, anything you want to ask or add?
Yeah, so you can see that your integrity, there were lots of opportunities for you to have it wobble a little bit such that there would not be workability in it, right? Not fully understanding the assignment, not knowing where you could source the material, not reconfirming it, not asking, well, what would that look like? And, with Tim's line of questioning, you could say, well, that was the person who told me to do it. They should have told me more. They should have given me fuller instructions or something like that. But there's the being cause in the matter of your having your integrity in as well, right? That you will cause that to happen. So there's that opportunity as well. So you can see that it's a multi-layered kind of thing. So when you look at your life, and you say, without integrity, nothing works, which is a saying that we all have, right? But you can really see that it just takes just a little lapse. And it starts to thread throughout your life, and it just sort of multiplies until, it gets to be, it really won't work, right? And lots of times we can wing it, or we can fake it, or something like that. I did that today at work. I was delivering some training to some new employees, and I hadn't really done my homework, about what I was going to train them on. And it was just like, whew, it just didn't work. For me, it probably worked for them because they had no idea what I thought it should look like, right? But for me, it was like, oh my gosh, this has got to be the most confusing delivery that anybody's ever gotten, and it was, the source of it was that I hadn't done the work. I hadn't looked at what do I want to train these people in today, and what would I like to introduce to them such that they gain some familiarity with part of the job. So same thing, right? So moving forward, I made a promise to myself that I will know the focus of the training. And, I've been doing whatever I do for 40 years. So it's not like I have to learn what it is I'm delivering, but I have to know what the focus is so that I can deliver something that's cohesive and coherent and consumable. Yeah. So, so I had that opportunity today too. So I'll restore my integrity with myself and with you. And I will restore my integrity with the group of people tomorrow morning. Because really, if I ignore it and just withhold it, it'll sit with me. And that'll be another out of integrity. So, yeah. So,
Yeah.
Today, I also had a very similar situation. I had an interview with NBC, and the subject was COVID and real estate. How is it that it's affecting the industry? Are we seeing an exodus? The specific question was, are we seeing people in high density cities moving to more suburb areas? And even though a lot of the conversation is just firsthand knowledge that I'm constantly reading and apt on, it wasn't until an hour before the presentation, before the interview, that I actually got clear and present to all of the questions that they have already pre-written to ask me, and the research that I could have used in advance to prepare for that. So I see how, same exact scenario here with this call, right? Like I'm preparing an hour in advance. What's the difference? There really is no difference, right? Either way, it's the same result. I didn't prepare in advance for this, so I'm not delivering effectively. Just like on that interview, though it could have been well, it wasn't absolutely phenomenal, great, because of my lack of preparation.
mm-hmm.
I bet when you were in school, you used to cram the night before for your test, didn't you?
No, I wouldn't even cram. I would just walk in.
Go up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
I do that too. So yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
Procrastination. Yeah. I think we all do that. That's it's really interesting to take a look at when you give your word to something, what happens when you give that word, right? It's almost as though we give our word very freely and then we don't really honor it, we're not even, I often am not even present that I've given my word, and then it'll come up and I might have put it in my calendar and it's like, oh my goodness, today I did that. I have someone who's going to review all of the websites for my businesses, and she reached out to me and said, oh, are you available tomorrow? And I said, oh yeah, at 11. And then I realized, oh my gosh, I already have a meeting scheduled at 11. And it's just like, it's a constant struggle to be present to my word and my commitments. So I think we all struggle with that a little bit. Just, as we agree to do things, we're all willing to do things. And it's not that we don't want to do them, but we don't really hear what we're saying.
I'm going to add to that, Sherry.
Okay, good.
I'm going to add that we don't actually know who we are. We don't really get the difference that we make. And when we agree to something and don't put something into existence, we don't really get that by us not honoring our word, what the impact is really out there. If we really, really, really did get that, that there are people going to depend on me. There are people that are coming to this training specifically to get trained and developed. If we really got the difference that we do make and that we do matter, then we would say, this is what I'm going to do. And then we would put into place what there is to put into place to make sure that that actually happens. So many times in working with new course supervisors, they'll have an existence system. They'll use it sometimes and not others. And then when there's a broken agreement, then they get, oh, I see the impact now. Like Joshua got, that this training was not going to be what we had expected. But if we really got from the beginning that what comes out of my mouth, that it really matters and it does make a difference, it could be a very different conversation around workability. and honoring your word. There just wouldn't be any, oh, I'll figure it out, or, oh, I've done this before, right? And then the other thing to add is some of you might know this name, Jim Kidder, maybe others don't, but Jim Kidder used to tell me, when you don't have integrity in what you said you were going to do, and you take actions, but there is no clearing of integrity, you really don't know the opportunity that was there and available inside the context of integrity. Because without integrity, you will never know what was possible. You can't go back. There's no opportunity. So it's a missed opportunity to operate inside of a lack of integrity. You may perform and there may be results, but you will never know what was really possible. And that's where the miracles show up, is inside the clearing of integrity, having the context of integrity in your life. And something else that that I'll add is Amy Goodman shared with me, I don't know, probably in February, January, this koan, or this phrase that we say, without integrity nothing works, is really not the truth. And you won't hear it being said much anymore. It's without integrity, some things do work, not nothing works, but without integrity you do not have sufficient sustainability to perform and do what you're out to do on the planet, in the world. You don't have sufficient sustainability. You may be doing really good, but then not. So to be consistent and have sufficient sustainability, you need to have integrity and workability. So I just put that in because we're getting away. The enterprise is getting away from saying.
Yeah.
that.
I totally get that. And it's still, it echoes in my ears.
Yeah. I have the t-shirt, actually. They actually used to sell t-shirts with it, and I have one.
Oh, really? No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like the idea, though. It's sustainable. It's
Yes.
the sustainability that we're looking for just in the context of our lives. If we attend to our integrity,
Yep.
that whatever we're up to is then sustainable. Whereas if we don't, things will start to get a little wobbly from time to time.
Yeah. Your results will be less.
And then what generally happens when that happens is what? We get into what? Some sort of a disempowering conversation.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right.
Or we'll run rackets on other people and blame other people.
Oh, yeah, make them responsible. Yeah, I've done that. Yeah. So what are you guys getting from this?
What do you see in your own lives, in your own?
Well, like integrity is doing what you know to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Integrity is also doing what others would expect you to do, even though they haven't said it. So there's different levels of integrity. The basic integrity is just doing what you say you're going to do. But, it's like doing what you say you're going to do as it's supposed to be done or as it's designed. It's doing it on time. It's doing what others would expect you to do and what others would expect you to do, but they haven't said it.
Yeah, all of that.
So if we're just on the basic level of, I said I would do this, then we have kind of a basic integrity, but it can go a lot deeper.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I get what you're saying, Tom, and I'm gonna just reword some of it. Like and I'm only looking at the word level as if there's this much integrity or that much. There's aspects of integrity or areas, or like what you said, there is do what you said you're going to do and do it on time. Like that's an aspect. But really there is integrity or no integrity. There's not a little bit, it's like pregnant. You're pregnant or you're not, right? There's only certain things where almost works. Horseshoes and
I'm sorry.
handmaids.
Go ahead. Yeah. If you listen to, once you're level 2 and you start to listen to the all staff calls, you'll begin to see what integrity is not. Um,
Yeah.
You know, Landmark has been looking at integrity for the last 2 years. Well, they've been always looking at it, but really doing a study. And they started with what integrity is not. And for 2 years, every staff call, a part of that staff call is a conversation about what integrity is not. And then the assignment is about a document that says what integrity is not. And it's about really getting to the core of that document and really getting all the definitions in the document and understanding it. So it's very complex, Tom, I guess is what I'm saying. And we still haven't had the big reveal. We're on what integrity is about. And that's when the virus hit. So we haven't moved any further in those conversations. But that's been what, about 6 months worth of what integrity is about.
For about 6 months we've been talking about what it is about, not what it is, what it's about. But
Yeah.
Tom, you're accurate in speaking about those different areas. I just wanted to get clear that there's not levels of integrity.
Yeah, thanks. I was just trying to do that from memory. So
Yeah, no, you did good.
I had a kind of a, I don't know, a little bit of an aha moment around integrity today.
Great.
There's a lot of things that I have been putting up with in my life that I'm not, for lack of a better way of saying it, like it's not my responsibility, it's not my thing, I'm not in control of it, but the lack of integrity affects me.
Yep.
And that I need to be cause in the matter to cause whatever's out of integrity to have integrity. Or so I've had this thing with T-Mobile where I can't log into the app or the website, and it's been going on for months. I can't look at my bill. I can't do anything with my kids' plans, like if they want to upgrade. And they said they've been working on it. And I finally was on the phone with them for probably the 10th time for an hour and a half yesterday. And finally, somebody figured it out. And so now that has integrity in my life. It's just like one of those things that's there that doesn't work, and I put up with it, and it bothers me. And I'm waiting for T-Mobile to get it together and fix it, and they haven't. So instead, I was causing the matter. And now, it kind of seems like not a big deal, but it's like this huge space has opened up where it's been bothering me for so long, and now it works.
Yeah.
You know, and the same thing, there were some repairs that were supposed to be done on this house and they weren't, and that just got completed a little while ago, and now the air conditioner went out. And I told them, I'm going to be on you guys. I cannot have an 85-degree house.
Yeah.
It doesn't work for me or the other 4 people in my house.
I'll get you in action for sure.
Yeah, because I was just before with the other repairs, it wasn't a big deal, but it was there, and it took them 3 or 4 weeks to get it done. And and I said to them, that's not going to happen with this air conditioning. So it's just, I just had that realization that there's things like that I put up with, that because I can't really do anything about it, I put up with it until it just gets out of hand and I can't deal with it anymore. And then, so I can be cause in the matter of restoring integrity, even though, I'm not technically the one out of integrity. It's the situation, or somebody else has to deal with it.
Yeah.
But it still affects me. So if I want to have a power,
notice the subversive nature of putting up with it.
Tolerate.
yeah,
Of
Yep.
tolerating things, how it subverts you and your power.
yeah, and then
Takes a bunch of your energy away.
it does. But me being cause in the matter changes that around.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Tom, if you look at tolerating, if you really look at what that's about, you could probably say you were out of integrity just in the toleration of
Mm.
You know, there was an agreement, a certain agreement between you and whoever. And when we tolerate, we have no integrity in that area.
Yeah.
And that,
Definitely we're honoring a disempowering conversation. You weren't creating an empowering conversation.
Yep.
You're just like, oh, there's nothing I can do about this. Forget it. Or,
Yeah,
but
kind of
it
like that.
subverted you and your power that
And then
whole
4
time.
months later, my T-Mobile stuff doesn't still work.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're still pissed off about it. Yeah.
No, not anymore. It works now.
Now
Yeah.
it works. Well,
I'm
now
happy.
your integrity's in. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
In that area.
And you
And, you know-
stayed on the phone and you caused that. I mean, you might not have been the one to fix it, but you were the clearing for it to get fixed.
But like that didn't even occur to me. Doing the integrity report, which I did like a day late, but I did it.
All right.
And I sent it to you, Tim, too.
Yeah.
But it didn't even occur to me that would be something that I would put on the integrity report.
That's totally brilliant. That's right. We
Until
don't
today.
notice most of them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You have to actually do the report to see those things.
Well, I did.
Well, that wasn't in his report, though.
It wasn't in the report because I just got that today. That's still me being out of integrity because it's in my life.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be responsible for what's in my life. Like I'm responsible for everything.
Yep.
And that was just something I kind of got right. I don't know why it just all came together, but when Joshua started sharing, and then it just dawned on me like, oh my God, like, so.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another thing that we got in this training about integrity is that when you are out of integrity, there's no opportunity for you to be up and out here. You are in your head about something else. You're in your head about damn T-Mobile. You know, you could even just see a billboard of a T-Mobile billboard and off you would go. And you have no opportunity to be present. So all of the areas where you're out of integrity, it's just really like the filter causing you to be somewhere else and not be able to be up and out here and present, which is where life is. So the more and more that you can restore integrity, get things complete, there gets a space created where you can just be free to be and free to act and be present. And that's what you'll notice the more and more you keep
Looking.
Yes, keep looking and keep closing the gap with your areas of integrity, getting things complete. Because in the clearing of no completion, nothing else can show up. There's no being in the clearing of incompletion. That was one of the main things I got from the Forum for Graduates. It's a new new conversation about being. Yep.
Yeah, you just be a machine at that point. Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, so one thing I didn't tell you at the beginning of this call is Tim has to leave us, so we're all going to leave early. So it is now 8:50, which is the time I promised Tim that he could leave the call.
And
so I propose that we just be complete right now with that conversation about integrity. And Joshua, now you'll have an opportunity on next week's call to present the genesis of identity. And I will send you the documents that will support you in doing that presentation. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
I'll send them to you tonight so that you'll have them. So
Thank
you'll be able to be prepared. And Monica, I don't think we've heard from you at all tonight. Anything you'd like to say in closing?
there you go.
You look smashing as usual.
What?
You look smashing as usual, I said.
Yeah, I had a big weekend of being more in integrity. I did a lot of cleaning out of my files and looked at my finances, and I really got to do some deep work on that. And not knowing that that's what we were going to talk about, but it just seemed to occur.
It's
And I
great.
realized too that I had agreed to be part of this summit, and I was kind of, it was like putting me through a lot, you know, to be part of this summit full of people who help women with money issues. And I'm like, what am I doing with this group? But here I am. And I completed that today. So I just want to, you know, being out here and going through really deep stuff internally, as well as doing what I said I would do, because I could have just dropped out of it. But no, I got some support, and I was able to record the call and get everything up on Facebook and do everything I was supposed to do today. So I'm really proud of myself for that.
Great.
Awesome.
Yeah. I saw
Yeah.
you on Facebook.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I looked
Oh,
for a
thanks.
few minutes and I had to go, but yeah. Good for you.
Yeah, I'm going to do more of that too. So,
Yeah. And you occur to yourself differently having done that.
yeah, I feel very different. Really.
Yeah.
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 Well, she shifted her occurring last week, sometime Friday or Saturday. I'm not sure,
Oh,
but
yeah.
she-
Oh my God. I got so clear about, yeah, I don't even remember what exactly it was, but I had dropped something I was really holding on to for so long. It's like,
Great.
I'll share that later.
I recommend, if you have the means, to put yourself in the forum for graduates, free to be and free to act. Everybody. It's $250.
Oh, yeah.
There's June 12th and June 26th, and there will be more coming.
I
But
tried to sign up and I couldn't get through it when
yeah,
something went wrong. But I will do that.
you
And
go
I
on
want
the
to
website.
ask about, so we're not doing the live event in July?
Well, I don't know. It hasn't been said yet. It has
Okay.
not been. I don't know that yet, but I will be.
don't say anything. Right now it's through the end of June, June 30th. So.
Yeah, I don't know that. So,
Okay.
all right, I'm going to send you
All
guys
right.
the link for the registering into that course if anybody's interested.
Oh, and Wednesday night, tomorrow night is the evening with the Landmark Forum leader.
That
Tim
reminds
needs to send that link to everybody too.
I can do that. And Sherry, because I'm the document manager, I can't lead the leaders calls.
Oh, tomorrow.
I'm going to ask.
Okay.
And Mitch can't either because he's shadowing.
On the
Can
team.
you lead that? I don't know
Yeah,
who's going to be on it.
yeah.
We'll talk tomorrow.
Yeah, there might not be anybody
There
on. I
might.
think 4 people had confirmed, and you and Mitch were 2 of them.
I'm just going to cancel it. How's that?
That's okay.
I'll
But then we're going to have to reschedule it because we got to look at Nahala's spreadsheet and start
Yeah.
using.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll
Okay.
do that. All right. I'm going to go now. It's 55. So thank
Right,
you,
everybody.
Good work.
Anybody have anything else to say? Nope.
Thanks for everything.
All right. You can tell your coach that you can be signed off on integrity, workability. Yeah.
Larry, I can be signed off on integrity
Okay.
and the bold statement.
And the bold statement.
And
That's
the bold
right.
statement, Tom. Yay.